Hey, this is Kenny for Kenny's Audiophile Record Reviews. Thank you very much for viewing my channel. As always, if you're new to my channel, please like and subscribe. I really appreciate that. Help on my video, help out my video analytics. But in this video, I have a very enthusiastic big band jazz record recommendation. This album was originally released in 1965 on Octave Records. It was reissued in 2023. I believe that was the reissue year on Sam Records. And it is the Shahib Shahab and the Danish radio jazz group. It is a hard bop, big band effort by Shahib Shahab, issued on Sam Records. It was, I don't know if that's coming out on the video, it was issued on 180 gram vinyl, remastered by Kevin Gray at Coherent Audio. I'm gonna get into my opinion of this record, the sound of this record, and do whether I recommend this record or not. Actually, I do, but this record, like I said, was originally issued in 1965. Now, original pressings of this record sell anywhere from $2,000, $4,000, $5,000 on up. So it's almost unattainable to the masses. There was another reissue in 2001. And again, the original pressing was in 1965. Like I said, it costs, original pressings cost between $2K and as much as $4 or $5K. It was reissued in Japan in 2001. And even those versions cost anywhere from $60 to $240, $250. This one, I believe I paid approximately, $38, $39, $40 on Sam Records. It's great some of these reissue labels are doing these reissues to make albums that are out of reach financially or out of reach in terms of rarity or scarcity. It's great that reissue labels like Sam Records and Analog Productions, Craft Recordings are reissuing some of these masterpieces from the original analog tapes from legendary remastering engineers, and it's a great opportunity for those of us to get some of these amazing records. But I'm going to show you the label of the record. There's an insert inside the record as well. There's original polyline sleeve. See if I can show you the label of the record. Yeah, I don't know what the original label looked like, although Michael, the 45 RPM audiophile, his name is Michael. He has a spectacular YouTube audiophile record collector YouTube channel. He's amongst the best in the business, in my opinion. He really is. He has a great vibe and groove to his style. He's very knowledgeable. He has a very high-end Einstein system. He knows what he's talking about. And he reviewed this record. I'm getting his review in this video, and I'll leave a link to his review if I can remember in the description below. But I'll show you the back as well. It came with this insert that's blank on both of the outer sides, and has a picture of Shahib Shahab included. It's a nice touch to the record. But this big band effort by Shahib Shahab is one of the better big band albums that I've ever heard, be honest with you. It is simply fantabulous in terms of the vibes, the grooves, the compositions. I believe all the compositions on this record are by Shahib Shahab. He was the conductor as well. On this album, Shahib Shahab played the baritone sax, the flute, clarinet, and the cowbell, believe it or not. And like I said, the vibes, the grooves, the compositions are easy to vibe, group to, and get into. even if you don't like jazz per se, it has a very nice, they have a very nice swing to them, a very nice, like I said, vibe and groove and energy to them that's easy to get into. My favorite composition on this amazing album is called My Ding. It's spelled M-A-I space D-I-N-G. I believe it's the first song on side 2. And that one, he starts out, Shahib Shah playing the cowbell, and then the big band gets into the composition, and it has a very nice energy and flow and vibe and groove to it that is just simply spectacular, even if you don't like jazz. But to me, that represents amongst the best what that big band jazz has to offer. It really does. That's my favorite composition on this album. If you listen to this on YouTube, I would start there personally. If you're not going to listen to the whole thing all the way through, and I recommend you listen to the whole album all the way through on YouTube, the song My Ding is just very, it gets you pumped up basically. It just has a spectacular and a very amazing energy to it. And the first song, I think it's the first song on side 1, it's called Dida. That fits in that category as well. Another composition is called, that's really good that you might want to skip to, is called Not Yet, I believe it's called. But in terms of the sound of this record, I did know, and I'm gonna get to, I'm gonna talk about Michael 45's, Michael at 45 RPM Audiophile's shootout review opinion of this record. Again, he had the original pressing at number 1 because it sounded more dimension and detail, and he had the 2001 Japanese pressing at number 2, and he had this reissue at number 3. Now I'm gonna tell you what I noticed when listening to this record, in that some of the lower frequencies like the baritone sax and the bass were not as dimensional and detailed as some of the upper register frequency instruments on the album. It sounded very good, but not as good as it could. I came off fresh listening, and I just received this album as well, did a video on this record, this review of the Waltz for Debbie, the UHQR version. I compared the UHQR to the Craft Recordings OJC version, and listening to the bass of Scott LaFaro on that UHQR and the Craft Recordings record were so full and dimensional. You could hear the detail of Scott plucking the strings, where it's not that much as detailed on this record when I compare it to that great Waltz for Debbie record. So some of the lower frequencies are not detailed, although they sound fine, don't get me wrong. They really sound very good. Not as, to me, not as clear and dimensional and detailed as they should. But overall, the sound on this record is quite good. I highly recommend, if you like this record, after listening to it on YouTube, I recommend that you purchase the record. It doesn't sound great, but it sounds very, very good. If I were to rate the sound of this record, I'd give it an 8. Now, I'm giving the performance on this record, gosh, in my opinion, I'm giving it a 9.5. I'm giving the performance a 9.5, the sound an 8, because the big band effort on this record and all the compositions are really easy to get into. In the, you know, the change of moods, the change of tempo are just spot on. And the big band conducting and arranging and the compositions by Shahib Shahab are just out of this world spectacular. Like I said, I give the performance a 9.5, the sound an 8. I'd recommend you listen to this album on YouTube, and it's a joy to listen to. I have to say this real quick, is that Shahib Shahab did a vocal performance on this album. It's the last song on side 2, and it's quite good, I must admit. That was a nice charm to it, I have to say. And it really displays greatly on this big band effort. Shahib Shahab and the Danish radio jazz group. I enthusiastically recommend that you listen to this album on YouTube. If you like it, you should purchase it. If you have this album, please leave your comments in the comment section below. And if you're blessed to have the original pressing of this album, definitely leave your comments in the comment section below, because this thing is insanely rare. I get the impression they rarely come up for sale at the price tag of between $2,000 and $5,000. But if you have this copy or the Japanese version, please leave your comments in the comment section below. I really enjoy listening to that album. Like I said, although it's not as detailed as I like, it's still very full. It does have enough detail to get into the vibe and groove of the compositions. It has great definition and soundstage. Highly recommend it for sound. It's not as good as it should be, but it sounds very good. Performance, spectacular, give it a 9.5. Please leave your comments in the comment section below. Thank you very much for viewing my video. Please like and subscribe. God bless, strong love, and please keep the peace worldwide.